Well, our Team 3 coverage continues at the National Civil Rights Museum. The museum merged with the landmark Lorraine Motel after Dr. King's death in an effort to preserve history.
And now, 50 years later, we're giving you a front row seat to that history. WRIG's April Thompson and Alex Coleman are there now. April and Alex, if you would tell us what we can expect today.
A lot, Greg and Markova. As you can see right behind us, State Representative Johnny Turner, one of the many people who fought for the rights for so many people in this country. She is speaking right now up on the stage, and so much other history is also being made here today, especially with some of the people who are right here on stage with us, April.
That's right. Some people came from a long distance to be with us, and they have been a part of the struggle for a long time. We have with us right now Joan Mulholland, and she is one of the Freedom Riders back in the 1960s, right, Miss Mulholland?
That's right. I started off with the sit-ins, like a lot of the college students back in the day, and then when the Freedom Riders were stopped in Alabama, we, following Gandhi, had to step forward to keep the Freedom Rides going. So I was one of those, and my group flew from Washington, D.C. to New Orleans and took the train up to Jackson in early June. And one of my Freedom Riding buddies was Stokely Carmichael.
Wow.
And we stayed friends right to the end.
I do want to ask you, why was it so important, Ms. Mulholland, at that time to do what you did, so many other Freedom Riders?
Well, the Freedom Rides were because the Supreme Court had already ruled that interstate travel had to be open to everybody equally. That was back in December of 1960. But the Kennedys weren't enforcing that. So we were trying to force the Kennedys to obey the Supreme Court.
Wow.
And it worked, you know, jail, no bail. They got to house us and feed us and all that publicity, so.
And you're back here today, 50 years after Dr. King's death. What does that mean to you?
Well, I reflect on how many people it took to get us to where we are today. King was assassinated, Medgar Evers was assassinated, Reverend Lee was assassinated. 2 of my friends were assassinated in Freedom Summer. And I was in a car where we were supposed to be killed to stop Freedom Summer, but because we lived, our friends died. So I figure we always have to seize the moment to remember them and honor them and do a little extra because they aren't here to do it.
Well, thank you so much for being with us.
Honored to have you here.
For making, because you live now in...
I'm still in Arlington, Virginia, right where I grew up, Robert E. Lee's hometown.
Okay. Well, we thank you so much for being here, and just one of the many people who have made the journey to be a part of this pilgrimage to Memphis for the MLK 50. And, you know, we've been working on this for a while and waiting for this to come. And a lot of people out in the crowd, we know that Melissa Moon is out, too, as well. She has been out among the people, kind of talking to a lot of people like Ms. Mulholland who are here. Melissa, where are you now and who are you seeing?
Well, as you can see, the crowd goes way beyond up here onto Main Street, and they even have bleachers set up there for overflow crowd. And just in the last hour, we've seen the crowd pick up here, but they have concession areas, overflow bleachers up there, some nice areas. These 2 ladies right here, Evelyn and Patricia from Oxford, they have some good seats here. What do you think about all this so far?
I think it's wonderful. I went to the Selma 50th year, and to be here is just incredible. I am just so happy to be here.
Nice weather, you got a good seat.
Yes, it really is. And the speeches are good, the singing is great. We're just having a good time.
And Patricia, why was it so important for you to be here today?
It's very important because I remember the day that this happened. Our school, which was Central High School in Oxford, had gone to a choral festival in Jackson, Mississippi. And of course we won sweepstakes. And when we got back, our parents came to the school to meet us. And they were all hysterical. And we wondered if maybe they had heard that we'd won the sweepstakes. We didn't even know it had happened. And when we got back, they told us that Martin Luther King had been killed that same day in Memphis. And so this just brings back memories. It's a bittersweet memory.
Thank you, ladies. I'll let you continue to enjoy this program today. And we still want lots of people to come down here. Parking will be tricky, though. You may have to park on some of these side streets. MATA is offering free transportation today if you want to come down here and you don't want to have to deal with all the parking issues. Of course, we'll continue to talk to people here in the crowds. Back to you, Alex and April.
I'll be sitting when the evening comes.
All I can say is also, April, we have celebrity, we have star power here today. Actress, comedian Kim Coles and Grammy winner and Memphian Kirk Whalum. Guys, welcome. Glad to have you in Memphis.
Thank you. Am I interviewing him? I'm official.
Kim, tell me about why are you in Memphis? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, watch it. That's our job, Kirk. That's our job.
You're the best.
I happen to be here because I'm performing at Chuckles Comedy Club tonight.
8 o'clock p.m.
8 o'clock p.m. at the Comedy House, and had no idea that this was happening today, and I'm so glad to be here to be on this day.
So, Kim, what memories do you have of Dr. King and the importance of being here?
I've got some personal memories. My aunt went to Boston University with him, and my aunt tells the story of him knocking on the door and saying, I want you to know that it gets lonely here on the weekends, and so I have the colored students, I think that's what they called us back then, the colored students all meet in my dorm, or my room, or wherever it was, on the weekends so that we can be strong together and be here for each other. My aunt remembers him being in love with Coretta. My aunt remembers all the stories, and so I've got a picture of him and my mom from way back in. So I feel like I'm a part of the history.
Right.
No doubt about it.
And we know Kirk has the history here because he played the beautiful song for us on our special and everything. But this has a special meaning to you as well.
It really does. First of all, my father was a big part of the movement. You know, Reverend Kenneth T. Whalum was a pastor, and he was an activist as well. So he was all down here in the mix when all this was happening. In fact, he used to take me, my brother and myself, my brother Kenneth Whalum Jr., and we would go swim in the pool that's right over there where that parking lot is right now. And the folks who are singing, by the way, there's a guy leading them named Cortland Kirk Whalum. So I just want to mention that. I'm a little distracted. But that's right. Those are my Stax kids. But no, I really do remember. I was 9 years old, Kim, and we didn't live that far from here. So for me, it's personal. I didn't know how to process the fact that this leader had been slain, but I knew that it was bigger than just a good man who was killed. It was bigger. It was a big spiritual thing, a global thing that had happened right here. So as a kid at 9, it really did something to me. It took me years to unpack it and really try to get a grasp on it, you know.
Kirk, as April pointed out earlier, you played the song Precious Lord for us for WREG's MLK 50 special. What was that experience like for you, that moment you played that song?
Well, first of all, I was honored to do it, and thank you for asking. But, the fact that was MLK's song, that was a song he wanted Ben Branch to play for him, and he would always request it. But I know that the last time he played it, it was under duress. The idea that Martin knew. He knew what was about to happen. Either he had been told, and I believe that, or he just knew intrinsically that this is something, this is going to be the end of my road. So, Precious Lord, take my hand. And I thought as I was playing it, man, this melody was ministering to his soul in a moment where he knew that something really bad was going to happen. So I tried to get inside that moment.
The melody that ministered to his soul. I love that.
I like that, Kim.
We need to write that song.
You need to write that for sure. What is, for those who are not here with us live this morning, what is this feeling like for you to actually be here, see this crowd here? What is that like?
Well, it's a special gift to me because I didn't even know I was going to be here. I didn't know that I was booked to do a show on the day that this was happening. So this is a precious gift for me. So I'm standing on the side and taking pictures with people, and I stepped over to the side to just feel the moment, to actually be facing the door of the room where he was slain. This is powerful, this is amazing, and I'm so glad that people are remembering it and that we're celebrating his life. Not celebrating the death, but remembering his death, but celebrating his life. To be here in this moment, I feel like the most blessed woman to happen to be in Memphis, happen to be here with this man right here, happen to be with you all right here. It's a beautiful moment, and I just met the Freedom Riders and the people telling the story. It's powerful.
Oh, man, and the sanitation workers, who were actually the reason that he came here.
And the signs, the reason, exactly.
Yeah. And Kim and I, by the way, have a little history together. We toured together with Luther Vandross for a while back in the day. So she says, I'm from New York. I said, you are New York.
You are.
But I history all up from here.
I just want you both to kind of say what Dr. King meant to you as far as where you've been able to go in your career. Do you think it would have been possible to do what you do and how you do it and where you do it without a person like that?
Probably not. Probably not. And I want people to understand that the dream, so he had that beautiful speech, but the dream lives in each one of us. And it's up to us. It's our responsibility to instill that dream in the little ones and to keep the legacy going. So I probably not. Probably not. I can't foresee it.
And the idea that, not just to do what we do, but to do it with excellence. That to me is the legacy that Martin King inspired a generation of people who were of color to say, listen, you're out here now with these opportunities, and I'm out here breaking down walls, and we are out here breaking down walls for you, little boy, as a 9-year-old. And now I remember that, and now I feel like, I have a mandate to do what I do with excellence to represent him. So I'll be practicing later on today. This is what I do. I'm always trying to make sure I do it with excellence.
You both do it so well.
Yes.
Kim, we will see you later today at Chuckles. And Kirk, we'll see you up on stage at what time?
12:30. With Deborah Thomas and Al Green. We're going to have a party.
Oh, man.
Al Green, too.
Yeah.
Be having a nap. I may stay just for that. It's time for
You
my
better
nap.
stay for that, Kim Coles.
Thank you so much.
So glad to see you
Thank
again.
both of you for
Kirk,
being here.
Brother, thank you.
Mr. President, why don't you tweet hashtag MLK50?
Okay.
Since you're so into tweets.
He is.
All right.
You're making a statement there. Guys, thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
As we were saying
Thank
earlier,
you.
Greg,
Thanks so
Markova,
much.
a lot of folks showing up down here at the Star Power, the celebrities, just from folks from all walks of life, right here at the National Civil Rights Museum.
Everybody wants to be a part of it. A lot going on. We have it covered here, and we're going to continue to have it covered and bring you interviews and bring you what's happening on the stage. WRAG's Stephanie Skurlock is leading the emceeing at this point for the next hour, and she's going to be talking to people there on the stage. We're going to be talking to people here, so just stay with us.
All right, back to you guys.
All right.